100,000 people just took a creativity test against AI. The AI won. A peer-reviewed study published this week confirms it. Generative AI now outperforms the average human on the tests psychologists use to measure creative thinking. Here is what that means for your job, your work, and your future. Divergent thinking tests have been the gold standard for measuring creativity since the 1960s. The format is simple. Name as many uses as possible for a brick. A paperclip. A rubber band. Scored on 4 dimensions: originality, flexibility, fluency, and elaboration. These tests have been used for 60 years to identify creative talent. They are how companies hire designers. How schools identify gifted students. How psychologists map the human creative mind. Now here is why this study is different from everything that came before it. More than 100,000 people participated. This is not a lab experiment with 50 university students. This is the largest creativity study ever conducted comparing humans to AI. Published May 25, 2026. Peer-reviewed. Source: Science Daily. The sample size eliminates statistical doubt. The result is not a fluke. The result is real. Part 1: What the study actually found. Let me walk through the results precisely. AI scored higher on originality. The most unexpected, surprising, unusual ideas, the ones nobody else thought of. AI generated more of them than the average human. Not slightly more. Measurably more. The ideas that scored highest for being genuinely different and unexpected, AI won that category. AI scored higher on fluency. Raw volume of creative ideas per prompt. More ideas per minute. More ideas per session. Sheer generative output, AI outperforms the average human here too. Humans scored higher on usefulness. Practical, implementable creative ideas that actually work in the real world. Ideas that a real person could execute with real resources. Humans still edge AI here. For now. Humans scored higher on emotional resonance. Ideas that connect to lived human experience. Ideas that feel true because they come from someone who has actually lived. AI has not lived. It has only read. The difference shows in the work. The models tested, GPT-4 class and above. That means current ChatGPT, current Claude, current Gemini. The AI you can open in a browser tab right now. Not some future system. The tools that exist today. All of them beat the average human on originality and fluency. Today. On the test. The most important nuance in the study, and the media is burying this. AI beats the average human. Not the most creative humans. The top 1% of human creatives, the Picassos, the Kubricks, the great novelists, still win. But the average writer. The average designer. The average marketer. AI is more creative than them today. Right now. On the gold standard test. Part 2, the last frontier argument. Let me show you the pattern. Because there is a pattern. And it is undeniable. 1997, Deep Blue beats Garry Kasparov at chess. Everyone says, chess is just calculation. AI cannot truly think. AI cannot be creative. This does not count. 2016, AlphaGo beats the world Go champion Lee Sedol. Go requires intuition. Pattern recognition. Something that feels like creativity. Everyone says, but AI cannot write. Cannot make art. Cannot feel. This does not count. 2022, DALL-E and Midjourney arrive. AI generates images from a text description. Artists are terrified. Everyone else says, it is just remixing training data. It is not original. It does not count. 2023, GPT-4 writes better prose than most humans. Everyone says, but it cannot truly create. Cannot innovate. Cannot surprise. It does not count. April 2026. Harvard study confirms AI diagnoses patients more accurately than doctors. May 2026. OpenAI solves an 80-year-old Erdos mathematics problem. May 25, 2026. 100,000 people. Creativity tests. AI wins. What does everyone say now? The pattern is not AI beating humans at one thing. It is AI systematically working through every cognitive skill humans have used to justify their value. Logic and calculation, beaten decades ago. Strategic thinking, beaten 2016. Language and writing, beaten 2022 to 2023. Medical diagnosis, beaten April 2026. Pure mathematics, beaten May 2026. Creative thinking, beaten May 25, 2026. The question everyone is afraid to ask out loud: what is left on the list? Part 3, who is actually at risk? Let me be specific. Not abstract. Specific. Who is at high risk right now? Copywriters producing marketing content at volume. AI writes better first drafts than most copywriters. Today. Graphic designers doing logo work and visual brand assets. The tools that generate these now are extraordinary. Junior journalists writing formulaic news articles. Social media content creators producing high-volume standard content. Advertising creatives at agencies doing first-draft concepting work. Stock photographers and illustrators. Music producers doing background and functional music. These are real jobs. Hundreds of millions of them globally. The creative credential that protected them is no longer a shield. Who is at lower risk right now? Creative directors who shape vision rather than execute it. Artists with a distinctive personal voice built over decades. Writers whose value is their specific perspective and lived experience. Designers solving genuinely novel human problems no one has framed before. Creatives doing relational work, where the human relationship is the product. Here is the honest, uncomfortable truth. If your creative work could be fully described by a detailed prompt, AI can now do it better than the average human. That is today. Not 2030. Today. The study published 3 days ago proves it. Part 4, the top 1% argument. The study is clear. Top human creatives still outperform AI on the tests. The most original human minds, the true outliers, are still ahead. This sounds reassuring until you ask one question. How many creative jobs actually require top 1% creativity? The honest answer, almost none. Most creative jobs require above-average creativity. Not top 1%. Just competent. Reliable. Fast. AI is now better than competent, reliable and fast at creative work. That is the category of work most people are paid to do. The second uncomfortable question. If AI improves at its current rate, and it has roughly doubled capability every 12 months. How long before the top 1% benchmark falls too? Nobody knows the exact answer. But in May 2026 the distance between current AI and the most creative humans is shorter than it was 12 months ago. And it is shortening. The gap is not stable. The gap is closing. Part 5, what to do. I am not here to tell you to panic. I am here to tell you to move. Stop doing volume creative work that could be described by a prompt. If you spend hours producing content that follows a repeatable template, AI does that now. Faster. For almost nothing. Every hour you spend on that work is an hour spent competing on AI's home turf. You will lose that competition. Start doing the creative work that requires you specifically. Your relationships. Your experience. Your judgment. Your taste. AI can generate 10 logo concepts in 30 seconds. It cannot know that your client's founder cried when they named their company. It cannot know what that name means to the people who built it. That knowledge shapes the difference between good creative work and great creative work. The skill that matters most right now. Knowing which AI output is good and which is not. Taste. Curation. Editorial judgment. Curation is the new creation. The creative director who can guide AI to excellent output is worth more than the junior who executes perfectly on their own. The human who knows what great looks like is now more valuable than the human who makes it. The career reframe that matters. You are not competing with AI. You are the person who decides what AI makes, what it keeps and what it throws away. That job is harder than the old one. It also pays better. Build toward that role. Start this week. Opinion and take. For 60 years creativity tests were how we identified human genius. Now they are how we confirm AI has crossed another threshold. The average person lost this benchmark this week. The extraordinary person has not lost it yet. The question worth asking is not whether AI is creative. It clearly is. The question is what kind of creativity is worth being paid for in 2027. Start building that answer now. Because the study dropped 3 days ago. The competition starts today. Call to action. Subscribe for daily AI news in 2026. Drop a comment below. Do you think AI is truly creative, or just very good at appearing creative? What is the difference and does it matter? Let me know. I read every comment. This video is for educational purposes only. Not investment or career advice.